Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Run the Jewels record, Run the Jewels. Run the Jewels is a hip-hop duo consisting of Southern rapper Killer Mike and New York-based rapper-producer r.a.p. These guys have been one of the most unlikely and super hyped rap team-ups of the past few years. They started turning heads in 2012 with the entirely r.a.p. produced Killer Mike album, Rap Music, which was highly praised by both fans and critics, and r.a.p. and Killer Mike, seeing the success off of this record and basically the chemistry they themselves were seeing in their creative process, decided to solidify this duo with the name Run the Jewels, and they dropped a full-length record just about a year after this Killer Mike album. Even though r.a.p. and Mike come from different walks of life, they've had different artistic trajectories. When it comes to Run the Jewels, they really get on the same page artistically. They kind of get together and meet at this middle ground where they can be straightforward, blunt, super aggressive, brutal, but also kind of cunning and clever too, a little adventurous. I think r.a.p. skimps a little bit on the wordplay, on the technical ability. I think Killer Mike drops a bit of his southern flavor from the equation too, and this is all for the sake of coming together and doing something that is uniquely them. Still, even though this first record of theirs really hit it off, the question remains that can they continue this and hold people's attention? Can they keep it fresh? Can they keep it entertaining? Can they come up with some new ideas? How far can this newly formed duo go? Are we going to get another Black Star, or can we progress past this first album into something just as good? Mike and Jamie certainly seem to hope that that's the case, because it looks like they're marketing this album as a sequel to the first album. Plus, on top of it, they're dropping this record just a year after they put out their debut record. I guess really hitting while the iron's hot, but still, a lot of hardcore fans are going to have that debut album in their recent memory, and they're going to hear this one, they're going to go, oh, this isn't as good. Which is a completely fine reaction to have if you feel that way. But in my personal opinion, I think RTJ2 is better. There are super brutal, violent, and aggressive rhymes all over this record. Cartoonily aggressive sometimes, hilariously aggressive sometimes as well. But I think r.a.p. and Killer Mike have stumbled upon a newfound, just like serious darkness on this record too, on some of these tracks. I think r.a.p.'s production on this record, in comparison with the debut, is way more layered, detailed. It's got more melody too on some of these tracks. It's heavier, it's bassier, it's punchier. These beats are weighty, and together with the lyrics, these songs are about as blunt and straightforward and hard-hitting as like a wall of the coolest graffiti tumbling over on top of you. Some of these songs feature numerous parts or have wonderful segues toward the end of them that bring you right into the next track without losing any momentum on the record. Like the track Oh My Darling into Blockbuster Night, or All Due Respect into Love Again. Like with the last record, Jamie and Mike bring just a handful of features, but the features they do bring are super impressive. Travis Barker of Blink-182 hammering it out on the drums on one track. We also have Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine and Gangsta Boo of 3 6 Mafia. They're not messing around. And a few undergrounds, somewhat unknowns as well. Diane Coffey, who you might know as a member or a collaborator drummer for Foxygen, as well as Boots, a New York-based songwriter who on this record helped lay down one of the most beautiful choruses on any hip-hop album this year. As I said earlier, I think r.a.p. and Killer Mike are finding their dark side on this record, are finding a way to make slower, more toned-down songs entertaining. They do it right at the start of this record with the track Jeopardy, which is a really odd track for Run the Jewels. There are lurking bass lines all over this thing, just like eerie horror movie synthesizers and lead guitars, some synth swells. Once the beat kicks in, it's really heavy, it's lumbering, and there are like some kooky saxophone leads all over this thing too. r.a.p. and Mike bring these really slowly paced, gritty, grimy verses that really build up the evil of this record. Like, this song isn't the most evil that the album gets, but you know that there's a larger evil coming down the pipe. There are other tracks on here too that are equally toned down, but a little darker, just a little more depressing or even sad at times, like the song All My Life, or even Crown, where Killer Mike is delivering this eye-wideningly sad verse where he's rapping about dealing drugs to a pregnant woman, regretfully. However, throughout the rest of this record, Run the Jewels is the typically head-bashing duo that you've come to know. This is like some action movie shit with like LP and Killer Mike running in slow motion with like trucks filled with gasoline exploding behind them and like ISIS terrorists all around them like shooting at them with their fully automatic assault rifles, but like every bullet's missing. Like with the song Oh My, which has one of the most massive instrumentals on the entire LP. Really heavy sub bass, simple snares coming through, some watery, swirling keys. LP delivers some Pimp C references and some big references. There's a hilarious line where he says that someone should run backwards through a field of dicks. The instrumental gets noisier and more chaotic as it continues. The song isn't exactly delivering any food for thought or anything like that, but the lyrics and just the overall tone of the song is hilariously badass. Same with the song Close Your Eyes and Count to Fuck. LP and Killer Mike also deliver some brutal verses here, and we have Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine, like I mentioned earlier, on this beat. He is laced into the instrumental itself, and it sounds amazing. However, his verse isn't totally mind-blowing or anything like that, but I do think it's better than his appearance on the recent Deltron 3030 record. We've got the song Lie, Cheat, Steal, which one of my favorite images on this entire record comes from this song teabagging a piranha tank. Or the song Love Again, which has another incredibly hefty, catchy beat, and Gangsta Boo delivers a verse that is so raunchy that I blushed a little bit. Nearly every other track on here that isn't, sort of sadder or more toned down song is an outright banger. And I love that about this record, but I also love that LP and Killer Mike came together and put forward a full length that is more balanced as well. There are some darker tones on this LP and some of the most melodic hooks that LP and Killer Mike have delivered yet, especially on this track that features Diane Coffey. To me, this record is Run the Jewels sounding more distinct, sounding more dynamic, despite their incredibly aggressive attitudes. I think they took some risks on this LP, and the results are positive. There are a few tracks here that pale in comparison to others, but I don't really think there's anything incredibly negative that I have to say about this LP. Sometimes the more aggressive lyrics on this record can be a little cringeworthy, but that's the kind of tone and story that this album chooses to put forward. It's unreasonably mean. I mean, look at the cover here. It is a stick up going on. It doesn't want to hear your sob stories. Run the jewels, man. Here and there, I wish there were some beats that were just a little bit louder so that the vocals were more immersed in them, as opposed to just feeling like Killer Mike and LP were just sort of on top of them with just kind of a lot of space between them and the beat. Some small technical things here and there pretty much. But I'm still feeling a decent to strong 8 on this thing. Transition, if you've given this record a listen, what did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What do you think I should review next? And that's it. Anthony Fantano, have a nice day. Music forever.